Guys, I don't actually know how this is gonna go. I'm just gonna give it a try. This is obviously the first time I'm doing this, but I've got a bit of a thread to go through. For the next 15 minutes, I'm gonna try, keep it short. First episode. I don't know how long I'm gonna be doing this for. I'm gonna try and do it as long as possible. Let's say 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Do you know what? I'm a rambler, so I'll probably go over that, but. Anyway, welcome to CT Radio, and if I have tagged this right on the things that I've shared it on, you'll know that stands for Chart Topper Radio. Today, as I say, it's the first episode, so I'm probably going to keep it light. I'm probably going to just ramble. Also, I'm probably not going to cover everything I want to. It's mainly going to be, I'm going to try a couple of things and see how it works out. But yeah. If you like it, let me know. If you don't let me know. It hurts my feelings. No, it's gonna be a wild ride. I mean, for me anyway, because I'm literally stood in front of a microphone, staring at a window, looking at notes that I've made on my phone, looking at articles I've got on the computer in front of me. Just random things that I saw and I kind of want to talk about. First. I'm going to keep this one light. Before you say, I hear this on the radio all the time. I hear it on the TV all the time. Don't talk about it. It's fine. I'm going to keep it light. I'm going to keep it funny. I'm going to mention some things that you've probably heard about on the radio and on TV. And it's going to be about the pandemic that's going on all over the world. I'm not allowed to say what it's actually called. For some reason, YouTube doesn't like that. So we're going to refer it to as the pandemic. I think you all know what I'm talking about. You have probably all been affected by it in some way. You might have been sent home from work. You might have had a concert cancelled like me on Thursday. That wasn't very good. Shout out Poppy. I miss you. It's not your fault. I forgive you. Everything has been cancelled. The whole countries have been locked down. But we're not going to be focusing on that boring stuff. As I say, everyone has talked about that already. We're going to be talking about the funny things that I think is pretty funny about it. Now, there's a lot of people out there that aren't actually taking it very seriously. That's fine. I mean, if you don't want to take it seriously, that's absolutely fine. I mean, just, do your research, whatever. But I'm looking at an article on the computer, and it says there's, cruises still going to China. There's probably some mad bastards out there that'll probably take them seats, and if they do, they'll be paying £300 for them. I mean, it's a good deal if you're not afraid of dying. Shout out to all my old people out there. Young people, you're a bit more safe from it. I'd go for it. Why not? £300 cruises to China, cruises around that sort of area. They're still offering holiday packages to certain parts of Asia. You can do a round trip to Shanghai. This is an American one, so it's pretty similar, I suppose, for the UK one. $300, $300 for a round trip. That's not just go there money. That's go there and come back money. I mean, I'm assuming the price that you pay coming back will probably be more than the price that you pay to go there, if you know what I mean. But but the best one that I've seen so far, the absolute best thing that I've seen so far, and to people that know me, I've shared it on Facebook. I saw an interview. I think it was yesterday on the Breakfast Club. Soulja Boy. You may remember him from the guy who did that one or two songs back in the 2000s that cranked that. Did he do Kiss Me Through the Phone? Anyway, yeah, doesn't matter. Anyway, you might know him from that. You might also know him from the guy who said he was making his own games console and pretty much ripped everybody off and was like, yeah, so it was kind of my games console, but it was more, I just copied an old, I think it was a Sega Genesis or something like that. And all the games were just absolutely wrecked. It probably cost him a lot of money. But it looks like he's probably going to be making that money back. in the next couple of months, because it's been reported that, in case you didn't know, I didn't know this, Soulja Boy has invested in a soap company. It says here that it wasn't actually that long ago that he started investing in it. He's actually invested in it so much that he's a part owner of it. It also says that since the pandemic has struck the world, he's made a lot of money. Just to put it into perspective for you, he's gone from selling, let's put it in bottles, that's what it says on here. I mean, bars of soap, probably he sells as well. He's gone from selling 100 bottles of soap a month to over 3,000. So, I mean, that's a one. I suppose that's a win. If anyone was gonna win in this world from this crisis that has hit the world, why not let it be Soulja Boy? I mean, yeah. I mean, take that however you want. I have no idea what's going on there. Donald Trump might have the good old CV, and I'm not talking about what you apply for jobs with. It looks like he was in contact recently with the president of Canada, President Trudeau. It's rumored that he has it, and as far as I know, it hasn't been confirmed. But I think I saw something in the news about it last night. I mean, it might have been confirmed now. The president of Canada might have it, and he's been in contact with Donald Trump. Donald Trump, the president of the United States of America. So that's well, you can't really go any higher than that. Oh well, apart from Tom Hanks, obviously he's higher than Donald Trump. That was another story in itself. Apparently that was he's isolating himself in Australia. It was apparently hinted in the Simpsons movie about 10 years ago. It was sort of predicted that this would happen to Tom Hanks. I mean, I haven't read into that. I haven't seen much about that. I saw a little thing about it while I was looking at little articles on the good old TV. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. You know what the Simpsons are like with predicting the future. Just like one of the most recent examples you saw, was it AJ? Anthony Joshua? Last year, they predicted him getting knocked out by a fat guy. Not to say anything about Ruiz. But the old episode of The Simpsons where Homer got in the ring with I can't remember. He was like a Mike Tyson ripoff. So The Simpsons are known for doing this. Obviously, you got the whole Donald Trump thing, but Tom Hanks is I don't know if he's acknowledged it. I hope he has. I hope someone's tweeted Tom Hanks and showed this to him. If it's true, I hope someone showed it to him, and maybe he's had a laugh about it. But speaking of boxing. I don't understand much about how long, like the longevity of all this is going to happen. But obviously, like most of you might know that Deontay Wilder has said that he will be taking his obligated rematch because he was three fights in the contract, I believe, for the title with Tyson Fury. He's accepted that he's going to take the rematch. I'm assuming it's probably going to be happening later this year because I think Fury's defending the title it might even be next month, or is it next month? It might be cancelled, I think, especially the one next month. Whether or not it was a good idea for Deontay Wilder to take this third fight, yes and no in my opinion. I think that if he didn't take it, it's a case of you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't in this situation, I think, to be honest with you. Because Deontay Wilder, to all the Bronze Bomber fans out there, shout out, was known as a beast for years and years and years and years and years and years. Not always known as the best boxer, not always known as the best in-ring worker when it comes to moving around the ring and, a bit of footwork, but he was always known for that tasty right hand that he's got. He was always known for knocking people down and then people not getting up until he ran into the Gypsy King. So, put yourself in the situation of Deontay Wilder for a minute. You're the Bronze Bomber. You come out on stage every single time, #Bomb Squad. You've knocked out 41 people out of 42 fights that you've had. You come into this fight in Vegas undefeated, apart from obviously the draw with Fury. You come in and you get schooled. You get absolutely battered. You get made look like an amateur. You get made look like someone who shouldn't even be involved or mentioned in the conversation of the world title scene. What do you do in that situation? Because in my situation, I would take the third fight. And going back to the whole damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, I think it's more of a case of if you don't take the fight, I think you'll get a lot of hate from your fans. I think you'll get a lot of hate from all your critics and your peers. You know, he talked the big talk, but he gets knocked out once and he can't walk the walk. On the other side of the coin, it's a dangerous situation that he's put himself in. And this is all speculation, obviously. I mean, he might go away in his training camp, he might train, he might come out a better boxer. Obviously, we know he's already a better puncher. You don't know how he's going to recover from this loss. You don't know how he's going to come out of this, you know, looking better or worse. I mean, it might demoralise him. I'm assuming he's not going to try and show that on camera, but in my opinion, it was good to take the fight, but I don't know if the outcome is going to be any different than last time. It's just two levels, I think. I mean, I in my opinion, most of the time, let's say 99, let's be more generous. 90% of the time, I always think a good boxer will outbox a good puncher. I mean, it was always used in the interviews that Deontay Wilder needs to be good for 2 seconds and Tyson Fury needs to be good for the whole fight. The thing is, that's people saying that Fury can't, punch. And he can. We all know he can punch. The fight was stopped. You saw Deontay Wilder's lip, eye, ear bleeding. Hit the corner, threw the towel in. So it's not a case of Fury can't punch. He's just a better boxer, and he just happens to also be able to throw a good right and left. I don't want to stay on this for too long, but I think in any case, Wilder was good to take the fight. If that's even going down, as I say, everything's been cancelled. A lot of concerts been cancelled. Shows, football has been shut down pretty much. Shout out Skepta. It's not looking good. Not looking good for the whole country. It's not looking good for the Europe in general. Like the Europe football, like what's it called? UEFA? Yeah, sorry, slipped my mind. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of months, especially when it comes to countries getting back on track. But whatever, you've heard that. You've heard all the crap about the CV. Let's move on. I want to talk about one thing. I mean, this is going to be mainly. Obviously, I'm going to be just try to keep up to date with the news and everything on air. But I do kind of mostly want to focus on music and the stuff like that. So I'm gonna talk about obviously, because I'm just gonna go through a couple of topics on this. It's not gonna be anything long. How long have we been going for now? Yeah, we can go for a little bit longer. I want to talk about something that came out pretty recently that I saw, and I recommend that after this. Please watch this first. Anyone who is a fan of music, who is a fan of music videos that come out shortly after the songs, go and watch the Godzilla video. Obviously, Godzilla, Eminem featuring Juice WRLD, R.I.P. Shout out Juice WRLD. It's a masterpiece, to be honest. The guy who directed it, his mind, my mind loses his name at the minute. He was the guy who. And some of you might know this name, Ski Master Slump God. He directs a lot of his videos. He's done a lot of other stuff in the industry. He was the guy that directed this video, and he's made an absolute masterclass of a video. It's very good. The shout outs, obviously it's an Eminem song, so not only in his lyrics does he shout out, to his history, to back when he first started. The video also does. There's a scene in it where he's laying in bed, and he's at the last bit in the song when he just absolutely goes insane with the speed that he delivers his lyrics. I'm pretty sure he destroyed Rap God's record. He might have broke that. So he's sort of having a seizure in the bed while he's doing all these things, and you've got Dr. Dre there. You've got shout outs. Like I'm not gonna spoil a lot of it for you, but yeah, Dr. Dre's in that scene. Obviously, because he's in a hospital bed. Dr. Dre, I need a doctor. Shout out Skylar Grey. It's very, very good. It's one of those things where you can sit back and watch it a few times, and you can just take it all in, and then you can have to watch it another couple of times because you haven't taken it all in. There's another good bit where he's standing on top of all of his CDs. It's like a CD mountain. Another really good shot scene. It's just the CGI in it as well. It blows you away. I mean, my words aren't going to do it justice. Go and watch it for yourself. If you go and watch it, message me, let me know what you think about it. That is, if anyone's even listening to me anymore. If anyone was listening to me in the first place, thanks. And if you've made it this far, well done, because I have just been rambling my ass off. But I've been trying to cover a couple of topics. It's not really a big thing what I'm trying to do for the first episode. I'm just trying to get a rhythm going, get used to talking into the mic. But I want to talk about one more thing before I go. I'm gonna try and make it a recurring, should I say, segment on this podcast. I do want to talk about, obviously it's called Chart Topper Radio. So as you might know, I kind of maybe want to talk about the charts, specifically the UK charts. I mean, I might take a look, maybe once in a while at the global charts. But I want to take a look at the top 10 at the minute. The first thing that I see in the top 10 is Blinding Light by The Weeknd, which we all know is an absolute tune. The first thing when I think of that song is, it's going to sound a bit weird. The first thing I think of when I think of that song is a bit of like an 80s glam rock vibe, especially when it comes to the video. It's another good example of how good choreography and good directorship in videos makes kind of adds to the song. It's the first thing that I think about. Obviously the beat is definitely 80s inspired. If it's not, I'll be very surprised, but it sounds 80s inspired to me. That's been at the top of the charts, I think, for about 5 weeks now. So congratulations to The Weeknd. I'm looking at my phone now, literally taking notes off my phone. I say taking notes. I don't have to take notes for the chart. I'm looking on Spotify. Number 2 in the charts is Rain, H and AJ Tracy. Obviously, H dropped this, I think it was last Friday. Absolute bomb. You've got Tay Keith on the beat. You've got Tay Keith, probably one of the biggest US sound guys in the game right now. It's probably going to be him or Metro Boomin, who I would say are the two biggest. Obviously, H has been dropping bombs all year. I know it's only early in the year, but he's had this. He's had Mice. He's had I can't remember if 8 Mile was late 2019. I can't remember if it was early 2020. I can double check that later on, and I'll talk about it next week. It's just the latest in a long line of hits for H. Obviously, we know AJ Tracy is an absolute beast at the minute. He's been killing it all of 2019. As did H. H sort of like made his name for himself in 2019. Obviously, been around for a couple of years, but I'd say probably 2019 is probably the most successful year that he's had, 100%. I first, and I'm not going to pretend I knew H before Keisha Becky. That was the first time I've heard H. For me, he stood out on that song more than anyone else. That's no disrespect for anyone else that was on the song. For me, he was the standout guy in that tune. What else have I got? Yeah, so Rain's out now. I suppose you could look at it as a good step for grime. I mean, you can call it grime. It's a bit of hip hop and grime, but the UK scene in general, when someone like Tay Keith is taking notice of all these young guys that are coming up in the UK scene and making beats for it. My opinion might be an unpopular opinion. I don't think it's the strongest of beats. Obviously he's an American producer, so he's used to American beats for American rappers. correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't really remember hearing many songs that Take Eva's produced in the UK. But for me, it's I'm sorry if my voice keeps coming out. By the way, I'm a bit ill. Don't worry, I haven't got the good old CV. For me, it's like someone has give him a grime starter kit or a UK rap scene starter kit. Do you remember, like, you know when you used to see on, like, in the 90s and all that, oh, here's a 90s starter kit, here's a naughty starter kit, you need this, you need a Walkman, you need a Sony Ericsson. For me, it feels like that. Like 8 Mile in comparison, for example, I think the beat on that is way better, 100% better. I think it's a better tune in general, to be honest, but that's nothing to do with, that's just my opinion. But yeah, that's how the beat feels to me on Rain. That's not to say it's not a good song. I think it's a great song, but it's not the strongest. It's not the strongest song he's brought out all year. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Moving on to number 3, you've got and correct me if I'm wrong. This was a former number 2. I heard I think it was Nick Grimshaw of Radio 1 say it never jumped into the top 2, and I was pretty sure that it did. You've got The Box by Roddy Ricch. My opinion. I really love this song when it first came out. It's getting a bit old. I think it belongs. I think it deserves to stay in the top 10 because there's not really many hip hop based tunes in the top 10 at the moment that are really gonna beat it. It's just there now, in my opinion, just because it's not got really any good competition out of the top 3. Once again, that's not to say it's not a good song. I just think it grew on me and then it faded on me. It's still on my playlist on Spotify. I don't listen to it as much as I would, let's say, Rain or Blinding Lights. But Rain hasn't been out as long, so obviously I'm going to be listening into that more. It's good. Roddy Ricch, probably is most successful in the UK today, to be honest. He's always been quite big in the US for a little bit now. I know when I went to see Post Malone last February in the MEN Arena, he was a warm-up act for him and Tyler Yahweh. Shout out Tyler Yahweh. I think he's going to be pretty big in the future, but nonetheless, Roddy Ricch, yeah. His album, I bought his album last week. Obviously it's on that, so it's off his new drop on his album. So yeah, go. Obviously, if you haven't checked it out before, I don't know how you haven't, because it's been played on the radio, especially if you listen to Capital or Hits. It's on all the time. Moving on to number 4, you've got Roses by St. John. Now this is a banger, and I'm not really into that sort of music. I'm into a lot of sort of music. I'm into. If you name a genre, I could probably name a couple of songs from it that I'm into. But this comes from a world that I'm not really too familiar with. But this is an absolute tune. I'm not sure, to be quite honest with you. Obviously, this is a Spotify charts, and I think I heard in the official UK chart a couple of weeks ago. It's either a couple of weeks ago or the start of coming to the end of last week. It's in the top 2 in the official UK chart. The only reason I am using the Spotify chart, by the way, is because obviously people don't really listen into the official chart on Radio 1. I mean, people that do know what's what. And I'm using the Spotify one because mostly everyone has Spotify. Mostly everyone knows if you want to look for a really good tune, a new tune, you go on Spotify. And that's why I am on Spotify looking at that chart. Absolute tune by St. John there. It is the remix. It's dope. There's not more else I can say about it. It's an absolutely amazing tune. In coming in at number 5, you've got Say So by Doja Cat. I don't know much about Doja Cat. I think she's quite new. Sorry there, water break. Or JD and Coke break, which one you want to say. Doja Cat, I think she is going to make waves this year, especially if she carries on making that sort of music. As I say, I'm not really sure how big she is. I mean, she might. I might not be giving her enough credit, to be honest with you, because I've never really heard her. So I think she's relatively new in the music scene, but that I might be doing a bit of a disservice. Coming in at number 6, you've got Intentions. This is Justin Bieber featuring Quavo. Quavo, obviously from Migos. You know how successful Migos are, and what am I going to say about Justin Bieber? in my opinion, lately he's been really inconsistent. This Intentions for me is all right. He's gone for a bit of it's classic Justin Bieber style, especially in the last couple of years, where he's gone for a bit of an R&B vibe, but at the same time he's trying to mix it up with a bit of US rap. It's a hit and miss style, in my opinion. I think this is a hit, especially for the mainstream audience. Quavo obviously is Quavo. You know what Amigos are like with the ad-libs and all that. Yeah, Quavo is, doing this style on this tune. Bieber, I don't know. It's a bit of a hit and miss song for me. I think it's better than Yummy. Don't even get me started on Yummy. I think that's terrible, to be honest. Number 7 is Don't Start Now by Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa is another one of them people for me. She's very successful in the mainstream, and that's because she has a certain style that a lot of people are attracted to. She has a certain style that fits really well into today's music. Obviously, you've seen her make absolute bangers in the past couple of years. Just to name one, that Calvin Harris tune. It was this year or last year. It was good, not bad. Dua Lipa. I think she's got a great voice. I do think sometimes the songs are inconsistent. That I'm not gonna swear because YouTube. I don't really feel this tune. I'm not gonna lie to you. Coming in at number 8 is Before You Go. Lewis Capaldi. Lewis Capaldi for me is an anomaly. Mainly just because I don't understand how a person who is that charismatic, who is that funny. I mean, you see him in Instagram videos and Facebook videos, in interviews, on stage at Glastonbury last year. I don't understand someone like that could make such sad music, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, you can make a ballad, you can make a sad song, music of the soul, I suppose you could say, and still be, an up-to-beat guy. But like, he's so funny and he's so out there all the time, and then he makes songs like Before You Go. Once again, it's okay. It's a song. It's not my type of music. I know a lot of people who like that sort of music are, quite like it. It's been out for a while though. Lewis Capaldi does tend to have a lot of songs in the charts that last for a long time. It is just sort of a thing that happens. And then number 10, quite fittingly to be honest with you, is Godzilla, Eminem featuring Juice WRLD. This has been in the charts ever since the album dropped. It's still in the top 10, which is it's a surprise for me, to be honest. Eminem has a habit, especially lately in the UK. You saw it with Kamikaze, and you see it now with Music to Be Murdered to or by. I can't remember the name of the album properly. This is classic Eminem, as I say. In this age of music, he makes absolute bangers, and you've got the fans who listen to his music. You've got the mainstream audience who get excited when they hear an Eminem song come out. And then it sort of just drops off because that mainstream audience, moves on to the next topic of the month. But there's a reason why Eminem is still in the top 10. It's Eminem. Like, what can you say about Eminem that thousands of people haven't said? Just look at Twitter. Whenever you say something bad about him, what thousands of people haven't said about him already. Like, he's the GOAT. He just is. He's one of the greatest of all time. That is definitely a topic I want to try and bring up in the future. What do you think about Eminem? Is he the greatest of all time? Is he overrated? Like, it's sort of a career retrospective, I suppose. But yeah, but that is the top 10 for the UK chart on Spotify, guys. Listen, I don't know how many people have listened to me for this long. If you have, I said I was going to go 20 minutes. As I say, this was sort of kind of just a rambling sort of episode. But yeah, I think it's gone okay. I think I covered the good old CV for a little bit longer than I wanted to, but a lot of things came up. Just a last thing on that, I forgot about it. Coachella got moved up till October. It got cancelled and delayed and moved to October, which is amazing, to be honest. I suppose the reason why it's been moved to October is because you couldn't really do it in the summer. You've got a lot of artists that I'm assuming that are going to be there that are on tour in the summer. So obviously they have to think about that before they start booking dates again. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it. I'm sorry that I've spoke for so long. I'm sorry that I've just talked absolute bollocks for ages. If you've stuck out this long, the next time you speak to me, say the word juggle. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to be uploading this on YouTube. I'm going to try and start uploading on Spotify so people can listen to it on the earphones and stuff like that. That's a whole other story. It takes a little bit longer than to upload something on YouTube. But hey ho. I'm uploading it on YouTube. So if you have an account on YouTube, remember to like, subscribe to the channel, please. That would be really helpful. Leave a comment if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment if you didn't. Either way, thank you for listening, guys. I will talk to you next week. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.